It is currently one of Netflix's most ambitious and expensive sci-fi series, and everyone is eagerly anticipating it. One of the most anticipated television projects for the 20th anniversary is currently The Three-Body Problem. Everything we know about the series is listed here. The first season of the newest Netflix show, which just finished filming, is based on a book by Chinese author Sushin. The title refers to the three-body problem in orbital mechanics. The second and third books in Liu's trilogy are titled The Dark Forest and Death's End, respectively. This is the first book in the trilogy. In 2006, the first novel won the Chinese Science Fiction Yinhe Award, making it one of the most popular science fiction books ever published in China. The three-body virtual world secret serves as a clue to the presence of aliens in the background, making the three-body problem primarily a conspiracy thriller. To put it plainly, the book recounts an account of first contact and up-and-coming outsider intrusion. The story begins against the backdrop of China's Cultural Revolution, when a covert military project attempts to communicate with extraterrestrials by sending signals into space. The signal is then picked up by an alien civilization, which plans to attack Earth. People on Earth are forming distinct camps to either welcome the creatures and join them in fighting the corrupt world alongside them, or to fight the invasion while the unknown invaders are preparing their strategies. This ends up being a hugely ambitious and visionary science fiction masterpiece. In the novel, the action begins in the 1960s, during China's Cultural Revolution. At this time, many Communist Party members, particularly younger members, accuse one another of not being sufficiently radical. Many will bite the dust, and among them is Yi Wenji's dad. People on Earth are forming distinct camps to either welcome the creatures and join them in fighting the corrupt world alongside them, or to fight the invasion while the unknown invaders are preparing their strategies. This ends up being a hugely ambitious and visionary science fiction masterpiece. In the novel, the action begins in the 1960s, during China's Cultural Revolution. At this time, many Communist Party members, particularly younger members, accuse one another of not being sufficiently radical. Many will bite the dust, and among them is Yi Wenji's dad. She is a professor of astrophysics who has been coerced into joining the Chinese civilians unit that is responsible for the deforestation that has occurred close to Radar Peak. However, this procedure offends Wenga, and it breaks her heart. She will meet a reporter by the name of Bei Mulin and assist him in writing a letter to the Communist Party urging them to reevaluate their environmental stance. However, this will put her in a challenging position. She will have to choose whether to participate in Red Coast Base's operations on Radar Peak or face punishment. She picks the first option because she has no other choice. Additionally, she keeps an eye here for signals from alien life. Our scientist gets married to the base commander over time, and as part of her job, she constantly sends messages to any life on Earth that might be interested in receiving them. And right now, click the like button below the video. Geez. True, no, it happens eventually. The Trisolarine civilization transmits the messages from the planet Trisolaris. Wenger believes that moral awakenings are needed to assist humanity. Civilization that comes from the outside and acts on the Trisolaris signal. The erratic rotation of their three suns made life difficult for the aliens from this planet, so they decided to conquer Earth. However, given that it took them more than 450 years to reach Earth, they will have to come up with a different strategy. And I believe this is sufficient to attract your attention. It is evident that this is not your typical tale. It is filled with a lot of mysticism and an interest in the unknown. It ought to be a television project that breaks records and will captivate millions of viewers worldwide. The reader response is overwhelmingly positive. The majority of them agree that The Three-Body Problem is an excellent book and are eager to find out what happens in the subsequent installment. Leo makes it abundantly clear that he desires a perfect human being. As someone who is evidently critical of numerous aspects of his own nation's recent past, he approaches it from his own perspective. Now, let's find out when Netflix intends to release its latest TV show. The well-known Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and DB are in charge of developing the series for the small screen. Weiss and Alexander were together. Sadly, the show has not yet been given an official release date. However, we are certain that it will take place in 2023. This series was reported in September 2020, and creation began on November 8, 2021, with a shooting in the UK and China. In October 2022, it was finished. Han Daly recently revealed that the first season will consist of 24 episodes, each of which will be approximately 60 minutes long. The show is likely to have 3 seasons, according to some leaks, with each one following the plot of Liu's book trilogy. However, the success of the first season will largely determine this. Now, let's see who is in the series cast and crew. The most well-known Mexican actress at the time, Eiza Gonzalez, was the first to join the cast negotiations. Additionally, 12 new cast members were officially announced by Netflix in October 2021. Benedict Wong, who plays a character in Marvel, and Liam Cunningham, who plays a character in Game of Thrones, are 2 notable names. If you haven't already done so, click the subscribe button and the notification bell below the video. True? No. After this, John Bradley and Cunningham also joined the cast. The names of 4 more members of the show's cast were made public by The Hollywood Reporter in June 2022. Jonathan Pryce is the leader of the second group, and Rosalind Chow from Better Things must also be mentioned. However, none of the actors are aware of the role they are playing, other than the one that is written for Netflix. Russell Human will appear as Emperor Joe as a guest star, and Stacey Balogun is expected to play Thelma. Benny, Off, and Weiss will serve as showrunners for the first time. Since Game of Thrones came to an end and this couple was so amazing before, we can anticipate that they will make the right decision once more. Last but not least, let's look at some additional information regarding the show. Because it is still very early in the production process, the audience will have to wait a little bit longer to see the first official trailer for the show. When we know the show's official release date, it will probably be made available. The genres of the 3 Body Problem series are adventure, drama, fantasy, mystery, and science fiction. Additionally, it contains a few elements of horror. The book is considered by many readers to be the most terrifying sci-fi series they have ever read. However, the series' current course of action remains unknown. We are aware that the show had a substantial budget, which is not unreasonable considering the skilled production team that was involved. One of the most prominent cast members, John Bradley, predicts that the newest Netflix show will surpass Game of Thrones in size. Quote, "Some of it gives the impression that Game of Thrones was playing it safe. I've never read a script with more depth, more characters, and more themes than this one. There were also a lot of scientific ideas. They chose a very ambitious undertaking." The actor stated, "I just really hope I can play a part in making a great success and maybe right a couple of wrongs and get them back to where I think they deserve to be in the public eye. I just really hope I can do both of those things." During the Authority public statement, Betty Ryder and Weiss shared their perspectives about the transformation of the Chinese book into a television project. They say that the novel trilogy written by Liu Cixin is one of the most ambitious sci-fi series they've read thus far. From the 1960s to the end of time, they are taking the readers on a journey. The showrunners stated, "We look forward to spending the next years of our lives bringing this to life for audiences around the world." So guys, keep your fingers crossed and let's hope that everything that has been said will come true. Let's all hope that one day there will be a show that is even better than Game of Thrones. Just conceive. I appreciate your time and hope to see you again.